Okay guys, hello. I will tell you something about the game. This game is based on social media, and this kind of game is first implemented in Konya's tourism activities. Our game have 3 different levels. The first level name is Discover the Roots. The second level name is Realizing Continuity, and the third is Reach the Entirety. All 3 levels have the same requirements.
Hi dears, I will tell you about the story of playing. Selim's dreams. I will tell you about the Selim's dreams. Selim is studying architecture at one of the leading universities in Turkey. Because he is a senior, he will start writing his thesis. While he is researching, he finds a book, an expert art historian. When he finishes reading the book, he decides what his thesis will be about. Selim was interested in history and the historical architecture. When he was a freshman in the Department of Architecture, Seljuks and Ottoman architecture was hypnotizing him. Then he would get more information about them, but how and where he should start. Geography of Anatolia was so large that he didn't have the opportunity to visit all artifacts in this short time. Selim would compare artifacts of that time and modern architecture. Then he would write his work, past and present of Anatolian architecture. One night, while he was researching at the library, he found a book about Anatolian Seljuks. The book was about the Seljuks from founding to collapse, its sultans and the city life. On the first page, it was telling of the story of Kutalmışoğlu Süleyman Shah, the founder of Seljuk, as well as the capital Iznik, crusaders, unique civilization Anatolia, artifacts making Konya the capital city. Then Selim got tired and fell asleep. He was having a dream, half asleep, half awake. He was in a big castle. A man met him at the gate of the castle and said, "Welcome to capital of Seljuk." Selim realized that the place where he was right now in nowhere but the Konya castle, conquered from Byzantium. When the man said he made this place as the capital last year, Selim understood that the year was 1093 and the man was Kılıçarslan. The city houses, places, gardens, mosques were being constructed. Kılıçarslan introduced him with the Şehinşah. Selim read about the whole story of Anatolian and visited Konya a couple of times before. So he quite knew the sultans and their works. When they reached to the top of the hill, the time passed quickly. They stood next to the construction. When Selim turned his head, Kılıçarslan and Şehinşah disappeared. But there was another sultan. Selim was thinking that it might be Sultan Rükneddin Mesud. Then Sultan Mesud told him, "Son, the year is 1119, where we are building a mosque worthy of the capital." Selim entered the Konya Grand Mosque, which was about to complete it with the Sultan. When Selim murmured a roof supported with the 42 columns, "And what a simple architecture!" The Sultan answered, "This is our capacity for now, son." Mesud then stepped up on the magnificent wooden minbar, presented the mosque, and a voice was heard. "The dominance of great Seljuks on Turk and Islamic State has ended, and our Khalifa has chosen Sultan Rükneddin Mesud as the protector of Islam. This means that Anatolian Seljuk become an empire, and their first capital city was Konya." Selim ran across Kılıçarslan, son of Sultan Mesud, in the garden of mosque. When Konya became the capital, he decided to expand the mosque because Muslim population increased. He was also building the city. Selim got out of the castle. Shah. They were arguing about the name of the mosque and madrasa built by the Vizier Altunaba. Finally, Altunaba said, "Let the name of the mosque be Ipekçi." Selim saw someone inviting him in Ipekçi Mosque. But he wasn't Süleyman Shah. Kılıç Arslan, he murmured. He was stunned by the architecture and the great tile mihrab of the mosque. After Selim performed the prayer in the mosque, he started to walk around the bazaar, Bedesten Bazaar, next to the Eid. It was a big bazaar. Apparently, women and men from village come there to sell their goods. He saw Izzettin Keykavus wandering in disguise and walked around with him. Then Selim went to the castle again. What he saw there was that Sultan Alaaddin Keykubat was sitting on his throne and ordering that the grand mosque should be completed and another castle should be constructed. He saw traveling to conquer the seas of Anatolia. There were huge walls surrounding the city. The grand mosque was completed and named as Alaaddin Mosque. A town crier was yelling, "He came! Sultan of Solar honored our city!" Selim was confused and trying to understand who came. He turned back and saw Mevlana and his father Bahaettin smiling in the rose garden next to the walls. The city was expanding and developing with their arrival. They left Bahaettin Veled in the garden and went to the Altunaba Madrasa with Mevlana. A man entered there and said, "Sultan Alaaddin is dead. I'm his son Gıyasettin Keyhüsrev." Then he held Selim's arm and took him to the yard of the large building. He told that this place was the madrasa built by Bedrettin Muhlis. When Selim looked at the madrasa, he saw magnificent tiles on the walls and 2 floors of it and realized that this was the Sırçalı Madrasa. Now Mongols were in the city and Selim wasn't happy about it. Just then, Emir Celaleddin Karatay took him into the madrasa. He has just completed to listen Mevlana while he was walking around the citadel. Selim saw how beautiful architecture could be in this skilled hand. The dome, divan, and Turkish triangles was delicately embroidered with the Georgian styles. Selim continued his journey alone. While he was thinking, there are fights for the throne among the sultans, but the city is developing in architectural, artistic, and scientific aspects. Qualified emirs make stunning premises feel that is interesting. He heard that Sahibata was calling him. He turned his head to the right and saw Darul Hadis, with its door embroidered with the verse from Quran and minaret with the glass tiles. The sound of the pool and the very center of it echoed from the tiles of the domes and gave peace. Its architecture was the same with Karatay's. Sahipata didn't let Selim go. He took him to the Meram, where vineyard and the gardens of the Sultan's were. They passed through the forest and arrived to Meram. It was a peaceful place with a river flowing toward it. Its garden, nature, and sound of birds. A rebab sandal was heard. Sahibata told that a man called Thomas Mehmet, who they didn't know, was playing the rebab. They didn't spend much time in Meram and went to the Sille, where the sultans protected graves. Selim thought that it was a big place with vineyards, churches, schools, and homes. It was like being blended with the Turkish and Greek expertise. Then he misheard. Mevlana has passed away. Selim and Sahipata rode their horses to the city. was stunned by the delicacy, beauty, and strength of the architecture and mihrab tiles of the mosque. As the time changed, Konya changed. Selim ran towards the castle. Seljuk were collapsed, and Ilkhan's were ready the place. The time flight while he was emotional. When he saw the magnificence of Şerafettin Mosque just across the picture mosque, he knew that these were the breathtaking place. He found himself right in the shadows. He started to run towards the land of He saw the mosque in the distance. He wondered how such huge buildings were constructed. Was it possible? He learned that the mosque was built in the memory of Sultan Abdulaziz. While he was admiringly Finally, Selim woke up from the dream. He decided to buy a ticket and travel to Konya. First, he visited the places he dreamed and got information when he arrived in Konya. Then he realized that Konya was still a capital.
The game's story is delivered by Facebook admin with Facebook Messenger. If I should say something about rules, whole game is implemented at the Facebook page of Tourban project. The players can take introductions and details from the page, and they have to share photos with some determined hashtags. As the game rules, players must take photos from where they visit and share them at the Tourban Facebook page. These photos are shared with some determined text, such as Explore Konya or Tourban, etc. Each level have different destination, so each players have to finish one level's points completely to pass another. For joining the game, players must have a Facebook account and like Tourban project page. To complete missions, players have to do game duties given them by Facebook admin. When players stop by each point, they can see city's architectural spectrum. Moreover, each destinations have some duties, and those duties encourage the players to realize artistic details. If the players finish the game, they will get some ideas about building shape, ornaments, architecture techniques, etc. I will tell something about the routes. The first route is start from Alaaddin Mosque, goes Karatay Medrese, İnce Minare, İplikçi Mosque, Şerafettin Mosque, and Konya Science Center. The second route is start from Mevlana Museum, as you see here, and the second station is Şems Tomb, Kapı Mosque, Bedesten, Aziziye Mosque, Sahipata Museum, Sırçalı Medrese, Koyunoğlu Museum, Sille Historical Village. And the third route is 80 Binde Devri Alem, Meram Gardens, Tavus Baba, the Valley of Butterflies Park, Ejdat Park, and Japan Park. And the players have to obey some challenges, some rules. The players want to discover the city unknown features, and so they can learn city's own identity. This feeling can encourage players to continue to exploration. Challenge is discover the route exploring. The difficulty is long distance of points. Positions of points of the city are complicated. However, the hero has to follow the destinations point by point given with duties. The hero can solve this challenge with his self-determination skill. Challenge 2 is about reinforce the knowledge. The difficulty is that game needs some research for history and art buildings features. The hero collects some techniques data about architectures. The second challenge, discover the route exploring. The difficulty is distance of points. Position of points at the city are complicated. However, the hero has to follow the destination's points by point given with duties. Okay, let's say something about the challenges. The players want to discover the city's unknown features, and so they can learn the city's own identity. This feeling can encourage players to continue to exploration. Challenge 1 is discover the route exploring. The difficulty is long distance of points. Position of points at the city are complicated. However, the hero has to follow destination's point by point given with duties. The hero can solve this challenge with self-determination skill. The second challenge is reinforce the knowledge. The difficulty is that the game needs some research, history and art buildings features. The hero collects some technical data about architecture. The hero can solve this challenge with his researches. The third challenge is fill the entirety. The difficulty is that the game has a lot of points to finish the routes. The points include old and new buildings, therefore they scattered all the city sides. The hero can solve this with his research and cognitive skills. Players are mostly Konya's inhabitants, Konya's inhabitants. They are different age, status and jobs. Every player can see the game advertisement at social media so they can reach the game. They take duties from the Facebook page and they can follow game process via the Facebook page. And rewards are very perfect, very good. The first 3 people who finish all 3 routes in short time can take rewards. Rewards are a mind game such as Go or reverse or chess. Moreover, every participant can take some small promotional materials.
Geçmiş olsun.